Most people are told that raising cattle means buying expensive feed, managing complex irrigation systems, and choosing breeds that need constant care just to survive a dry American summer. But for a lot of farmers, especially those running small family operations on modest land, that approach just leads to mounting costs, exhausted pastures, and animals that buckle the moment conditions get hard. What actually changes things is returning to a breed that was built for hardship, one that forages its own food, weathers drought without flinching, and still delivers healthy, high-quality beef when harvest season comes. In this video, I am sharing 4 practical ideas around this forgotten, self-sufficient cattle breed. Ideas that make your farm calmer, more productive, and far less expensive to run. If you are someone who wants less financial pressure and more independence on your land, this channel is for you. I post calm, practical farming ideas every week, and subscribing means you will not have to search for clarity again. It will just show up. I am really glad you found your way here. Let us start. The problem with modern cattle farming. Something quiet has been happening on small American farms for decades, and most people never say it out loud. The cattle breeds that dominate today's market were designed for industrial operations. They were bred to grow fast and produce heavy yields, but only under very controlled conditions. Conditions that require grain, reliable water, lush pasture, and frequent veterinary care. For a family homestead or a senior farmer working a modest piece of land, that model is quietly unsustainable. Grain prices have climbed steadily. Drought seasons have stretched longer across the South, Southwest, and Great Plains. And the physical and financial weight of managing high-maintenance cattle is pushing hard-working families off land they have held for generations. The result is a cycle that feels impossible to escape. Spend more to keep the herd alive, earn less because costs swallow the margin, and hope next season is different. But the real problem is not the land or the climate. It is the breed, and the solution has been quietly waiting in the history of American heritage cattle farming. Introducing the forgotten breed. The breed at the center of this video is the Pineywoods cattle, one of the oldest and rarest surviving cattle breeds in the United States. Descended from Spanish cattle brought to the Americas centuries ago, Pineywoods cattle developed naturally across the Gulf Coast, adapting to survive on poor forage, intense heat, and almost no supplemental feed. Industrial farming nearly erased them entirely, and today they are listed as a conservation priority breed by the Livestock Conservancy, genuinely rare and genuinely remarkable. For small-scale American farmers and homesteaders ready to build something truly self-sufficient and sustainable, this breed is a life-changing rediscovery. Idea 1. Drought survival without irrigation. This one matters because it solves a quiet problem most farmers carry into every dry season. Watching pasture turn brown and feeling their investment shrink with every rainless week, without adding more pressure or complexity to an already hard situation. The reason this works is simple. Pineywoods cattle evolved in climates that were never reliably wet. Their foraging instinct is extraordinary. Where a commercial breed stands and waits for feed to arrive, a Pineywoods cow moves, searches, and pulls nutrition from forage that other animals walk right past. That behavior is not trained, it is generations deep, shaped by centuries of surviving without human intervention. They do not depend on irrigation systems, green grass, or daily water hauls to maintain a healthy body condition through summer. That natural resilience is the foundation of everything that makes this breed worth raising on a small American farm. To start, all you need is an existing pasture, even one that looks thin or stressed from a recent dry stretch. If you already have fenced land and a basic water source, you are ready to begin. What you are doing is simply stocking at a low, sustainable density and allowing the breed to do what it was built to do across centuries of hard living. No irrigation schedules to maintain, no emergency hay deliveries to arrange, no daily optimizing or second-guessing. To keep it going, focus on just one thing. Check body condition once a month and give sections of your pasture adequate rest between grazing periods. That single practice is enough to keep your land and your herd in a healthy, productive balance through even a difficult drought season. Over time, this does not just reduce your water and feed costs, it genuinely changes how your seasons feel. Less dread when the forecast shows no rain for 2 weeks, more confidence that your herd will hold steady without intervention, a quieter, calmer relationship with your land and the animals on it. A small thing that makes this easier is pairing your pasture management with a simple rainwater collection setup, even a few collection barrels positioned near a barn roof or outbuilding. You do not need it to get started, but it smooths the dry stretches and adds one more layer of self-sufficiency to your operation without meaningful cost. This one matters because it solves a quiet problem that drains the finances of small cattle operations month after month. The unchallenged assumption that grain is simply part of the cost of raising cattle, without that belief ever being examined or questioned by the farmers carrying it. The reason this works is simple. Pineywoods cattle were never bred with grain in mind. Their digestive system evolved to process fibrous, low-nutrient forage, native grasses, browse, and legumes that grow naturally across American pasture land. Feeding grain to a naturally forage-adapted breed is not just unnecessary, it can actively disrupt their gut health and create a dependency the animal was never designed to carry. Removing grain from their diet is not a sacrifice or a risk. For this breed, it is a return to the conditions under which they genuinely thrive, stay healthy, and maintain productive body weight without outside support. To start, all you need is a basic rotational grazing plan, even a simple one that divides your existing pasture into 2 or 3 sections for the herd to move through on a regular schedule. If you have perimeter fencing and a rough understanding of your acreage, you are ready to begin. What you are doing is simply rotating the herd through those pasture sections at regular intervals, allowing each section to recover, regrow, and restore its nutritional value before the cattle return to graze again. No feed schedules to track, no grain deliveries to coordinate, no overthinking the process. To keep it going, focus on just one thing. Seed native grasses and a simple legume mix such as clover into your rotation at least once per year. That single, low-cost investment feeds your herd through the growing season and actively rebuilds your soil health at the same time, making your land more productive with each passing year. Over time, this does not just eliminate your monthly feed bill, it changes how your entire operation feels. More productive land underfoot, healthier, calmer animals, the deep, quiet satisfaction of running a farm that sustains itself without a supply chain or a feed store standing between you and your herd. A small thing that makes this easier is getting a basic soil test done before you begin your first rotation. You do not need it right away to get started, but understanding your soil's condition helps you choose the right grass varieties and legume mix for your specific region, and that knowledge translates directly into better natural weight gain from your herd across the season. If this has been helpful so far, go ahead and give the video a like. It signals to YouTube to share this with farmers and homesteaders across the country who genuinely need this information. And I want to ask, which one has surprised you more so far? The drought survival ability or the zero grain fact? Drop your answer in the comments below. I actually read every single one, and what you share here helps shape the future videos on this channel. This one matters because it solves a quiet problem that breaks the spirit of small cattle farmers, spending an entire season raising an animal with care, only to walk away from harvest with disappointing returns that do not justify the time, cost, or effort that went into it, without the work ever feeling worth what it took. The reason this works is simple. Pineywoods cattle are not built for industrial volume, but they are absolutely built for quality. Their beef is lean, deeply flavorful, and consistently praised by those who have eaten it as superior in taste to grain-finished commercial beef. Grass-finished beef from heritage breeds like Pineywoods is increasingly in demand among health-conscious American consumers who want to know exactly where their food comes from and how it was raised. That means the yield you take home from harvest is not just functional, it carries real value in today's food market. To start, all you need is a clear, practical harvest plan, knowing the right age and finish weight to aim for, and identifying a local or mobile butcher in your area who can process the animal efficiently. If you have those 2 pieces in place, you are ready to move forward. What you are doing is simply raising the animal to a healthy finish weight on pasture alone, then processing strategically, portioning the beef for long-term family use, freezer storage, and potential direct sale to neighbors, local buyers, or a farmer's market. No complicated logistics, no cold chain infrastructure, no overthinking. To keep it going, focus on just one thing. Invest in a quality chest freezer if you do not already have one with adequate capacity. A well-stocked freezer of clean, grass-finished beef raised on your own land is one of the most practical, healthy, and financially sound food investments an American family can make for the year ahead. Over time, this does not just reduce your grocery bill, it fundamentally changes how your family eats and how you feel about what is on the table. Cleaner, healthier protein with full knowledge of how that animal lived, what it ate, and where it came from. That kind of food security is genuinely rare in today's system, and it is something you built yourself. A small thing that makes this easier is reaching out to a local farmer's market or a direct-to-consumer buying club before harvest season arrives. Grass-finished, heritage breed beef consistently commands a meaningful premium over commodity beef, and that quiet, sustainable income stream can cover your entire operating cost for the season and put your farm in a stronger financial position going into the next one. This one matters because it solves a quiet problem that wears down even the most dedicated and experienced farmer over time, feeling completely tied to a herd that demands daily intervention, constant monitoring, and expensive outside help just to stay alive and healthy, without ever getting a real break from the pressure of it. The reason this works is simple. Pineywoods cattle have retained the natural hardiness that modern commercial breeds lost through decades of controlled industrial breeding. They carry strong immune systems, high resistance to the internal and external parasites that plague cattle operations across the American South, and a well-documented, widely reported ability to calve without human assistance. That last quality alone is not a small thing. Calving complications are one of the leading sources of financial loss and emotional exhaustion on small American cattle farms, and a breed that handles it naturally removes that burden entirely from your schedule and your budget. To start, all you need is basic perimeter fencing appropriate for your acreage and a supply of loose mineral licks placed at accessible points across the pasture. If you already have both of those in place, you are ready to begin with very little additional investment. What you are doing is simply building a weekly, not daily, observation routine. Walk the pasture, assess body condition, confirm water access is functioning, and note any animal that appears off. No daily treatment schedules, no intensive monitoring systems, no overthinking the process or second-guessing every decision. To keep it going, focus on just one thing. Maintain a simple health log for your herd. A notebook or a basic app that tracks each animal's condition on a monthly basis gives you all the information you need to catch a problem early without creating the daily pressure that burns out so many good farmers before their time. Over time, this does not just reduce your workload, it changes the quality of your daily life around the farm. More time available for family, more genuine rest between seasons, the productive, deeply satisfying feeling of running a self-sufficient operation that does not require your presence every single morning to keep it functioning well. A small thing that makes this easier is connecting with a local Pineywoods breeder or a heritage cattle conservation network early in the process. The community around this breed is small, experienced, and genuinely generous with knowledge, and that relationship will prove more valuable to your long-term success than any manual, course, or outside consultant you could hire. Here is something most farmers miss entirely, and it matters far more than adding a new practice, a new supplement, or a new piece of equipment to your operation this season. Before you change anything about how you manage your herd, remove one hidden cost that is quietly working against you every single month without you fully realizing it. For most small cattle operations across the United States, that cost is routine grain supplementation given out of habit, not out of need. Farmers who transition to heritage breeds like Pineywoods often continue feeding grain simply because that is what they have always done. The behavior carries over from previous breeds, previous seasons, and previous advice that no longer applies. The grain bill stays on the books, the natural health benefits of the breed never fully emerge, and the financial pressure that drove them to seek a better way in the first place never actually lifts. Stopping unnecessary grain supplementation for a forage-adapted breed is not a gamble. It is the single most life-changing operational adjustment you can make on a small American cattle farm. Animals bred across centuries for grass genuinely perform better on grass. Their coat improves visibly within weeks. Their temperament steadies and becomes easier to manage. Their immune system strengthens without additional intervention. And your monthly feed costs drop in a way that feels almost immediate once the habit is broken. That one removal, not an addition, not an upgrade, not an investment, often makes every other part of your operation feel more manageable, more sustainable, and more aligned with the self-sufficient, productive life you were working toward when you started. You do not need more inputs. You need fewer of the wrong ones, applied to the wrong animal for the wrong reasons. You do not need to overhaul your entire farm to start moving in a better direction. You do not need a large herd, a big budget, perfect land, or ideal weather to begin building something that actually lasts through dry seasons and hard years. You just need one steady direction. And today, that direction is clearer than it was before you pressed play. Pick one idea from this video and apply it this season, imperfectly, without waiting for conditions to be exactly right. Start with drought-tolerant stocking and let the breed do its work. Remove the grain and watch what happens. Plan your first purposeful harvest and fill that freezer with something your family actually raised. Any one of those steps, taken imperfectly, is how real and lasting progress begins on a small farm. And if you want more calm, practical ideas for building a self-sufficient, productive life on your land, subscribe to Zero to Purpose. This channel is for people who want to farm more intentionally, without financial pressure, unnecessary complexity, or the constant noise of modern agriculture telling you to spend more and do more just to stay afloat. What works is simpler, older, and more proven than most of what gets promoted today. And you are already finding your way back to it. Thanks for spending this time here. I will see you in the next one.